Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. I'm a UK-based independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I am going to do a show and tell on the box, and then I'm going to make a card to go with it. If you were with me on Monday when I was part of the Stampers Showcase blog hop, and I'll link to that from my blog post, which is below, you will have seen me use the On to Adventure stamp set. And I thought I would use it again today. I've made this little box. I thought this would make a great retirement gift idea, or something like that, or a couple who decided that they're going to go on a great travelling adventure. But I thought I'd make a card to go with it. So I'll explain how I've done this as I'm making the card. I have already die cut the second from largest rectangle from the stitched rectangle dies. I love these things, they are just amazing, and if you're in North America they're even better because they are sized for North American cards, but they work just as well on UK cards. Or international A4, I should say. So the first thing I need to do, I am going to add a piece of ribbon kind of there to tie in with the ribbon that I've got on the box. But for the moment, I'm just going to remember that I've got that ribbon there, and I'm going to grab the two stamps that I need, which are those two, and then the sentiment, and pop those all on blocks. Now I'm using an enormous block for this one. This is the H block. You could probably use the D block on an angle, but I want the D block for one of my characters. So C block and D block. Okay, I'm going to be using blends, so I'm using Tuxedo Black, the Memento. You can use any of the classic inks as well. You just want a water-based ink, but the Tuxedo Black is probably the best ink to use. Now I'm stamping my chap as far over to the right as possible, and then I'm going to add and try and just overlap them a little. Add the lovely lady. So we've got the same ground across, and then while I've got my Tuxedo Black out, I'm going to add the sentiment at the bottom like that. It's almost straight, it's amazing. And then I've got an insert for my card, and I'll explain why I'm using an insert in a moment. And just a piece of scrap paper. So in the same way that I used partial stamping on my Monday project, I'm going to do a, shall I go? No, actually I think I'm just going to do half and half. So I'm going to put half of her on the right and half of him on the left, and I know that's the other way round from how they appear on the front, and I kind of like that. Right, so that's all of the stamping done. Pop that to one side for the moment. There is quite a lot of work to be done with blends. I am going to use the same colour blends that I used on the box, and there is a selection. Now I will try and do these slightly quicker than I did when I did the box. So I'm going to start with the ground, which is light granny apple green. And while I'm colouring, I will talk to you about various things that are going on at the moment, because we've got lots of excitement going on. So I do like to share these things. Light Calypso Coral, just to add a bit of colour to the cheeks. I don't like having completely flat colour on faces. Actually, I think we might... No, I won't. I was going to put colour on the noses, but I think that's a bit... No. not doing that. Right, ivory for all of the skin. So those of us that are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are getting really excited because we're in pre-order for, dare I mention the C word? It's the Autumn Winter Catalogue. That avoided using the C word. So yes, we're already on pre-order. So yes, you will start to see a lot, if you haven't already, see lots of projects using new items from the Autumn Winter Catalogue. It's one of the benefits of being a demonstrator is that we get to see everything early so that we can plan what we're going to show to you. So yeah, and if you remember, we've got the extra promotion at the moment, which means that if you have a large order, you can actually get a huge amount just by buying the starter kit. It's not a scary thing. It just means that you become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. But basically it just means you benefit from getting the discount. And if you want to make it into a business, that's great too. I have a few people on my team who are doing that, but the vast majority are just enjoying the benefits. Right, dark crumb cake for his hat, other than his hat band, which will be coloured. So yes, so it's a fantastic time. I'm going to use the dark crumb cake for the glass of the dark glasses as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic time to join my team because you get extra items in your starter kit that you choose. Plus, let's do her dress first. This is going to be the light lovely lipstick. Plus you get some more free items in, or a discount voucher I should say, in September. And you've got until the end of October to use that. So it's the usual €129 or £99, and that includes free shipping. And you get, now I can never remember the euro amount for the, bear with me 1 second. You get, in euros, you get €207. That's an extra €32 of product in your starter kit if you join my team in August. And if you're in the UK, you get an extra £25, which means you get an extra, you get a total of £155 of product, and you get to pick the product. Now I'm going to use the same colour for his shorts. So yeah, and then in September you will get an £8 or €12 voucher to use on an order. So it's a fantastic time to join my team. If you've got any questions about that, please, this is Dark Bermuda Bay, please drop me an email or give me a ring or private message me, any of those good things, and I'm very happy to answer any questions you have. I've got team pretty much all over the UK. Haven't got anyone in Northern Ireland yet, but I'm working on it. And then I also have team in Europe. So we do meetings via Facebook Live, and I also try and get to as many, see as many of them as possible throughout the year, just by travelling around. So I've been to Birmingham, Telford and Milton Keynes with team members, catching up with them. I'm going to Germany in November, and hope to catch up with a few of my Europeans then. So yes, it's a great time in Stampin' Up! World. I'm going to use the same colour on her glasses, and just be very careful. Now, if you find doing small areas on with the blends, you can always do the small areas with the Stampin' Right markers. Oh, I've missed a bit of skin, her neck, because that's skin as well. I love these because they've got shading on already. Now I'm going to grab the smoky slate. Actually, no, I'm going to grab basic grey just to show you what I mean. So Stampin' Right marker, if you have difficulty getting your blends to be small points, use just on, you know, little bits, you can use your Stampin' Right marker. So yeah, don't think you can't mix them, you can. Okay, yellow for her flower and his bright Hawaiian shirt. There and there and there. Now I could speed this up, but I don't like speeding things up. I like people to know how long things take. So just so you know, I'm bringing back the light Calypso coral again, and I'm going to do her hat in that and the centre of her flower. But we are nearly there, and then when I finish the colouring, it's actually very quick to put the card together because I've done most of it. And it's an interestingly bright card I'm going to be making. Not just because of this colouring. Right, I think that's all the Flirty Flamingo I need. Dark Lovely lipstick. I've done all the light Lovely lipstick, don't need that anymore. So Dark Lovely lipstick for her bag. And this again is where, for the strap of her bag, if you're a bit worried that you're going to be too shaky to colour this in, use your Stampin' Right marker. I'm going to do little dots for her shoes and then her suitcase. I wish I had a suitcase this colour. And then I know the wheels probably wouldn't be pink, but you know. Okay, dark smoky slate for the camera. And this is actually what I used on his sunglasses in the original. But I did want you to see that you could use a Stampin' Right marker as well. And then light smoky slate, don't need that anymore. Light smoky slate, wrong end, for their hair and his eyebrows. Eyebrow, fringe, eyebrow. And then I can put the card together. So I have a saying that I found, it's not an original, and I do mean this in so many ways, that I've never met a sunflower I didn't like. I love the flowers, sunflowers, and I've been sharing pictures of them on my Facebook page over the last few days, because they are in full bloom and they're gorgeous. And I think it works for my team as well. I've never met a sunflower I didn't like in my team. Right, okay, so that's going to be the inside of the card. I did tell you this was going to be bright. I'm going to mount this onto Daffodil Delight. When this is out of the way, it actually looks okay. I'm going to just run this round the bottom of my card mat. Grab a couple of glue dots. This is where I have to say, in the old days, I would have got out fast fuse, because I love fast fuse for sticking on ribbon. But we don't do it anymore. A lot of people had problems with it. I have to say I never did. But hey, it's fine. I can get over it. Okay, so I'm just lining this up on my grid paper so that there is some vague hope that I get my ribbon something approaching straight. Okay, so if I actually, let's be sensible. Let's stick down one end, straight preferably. Turn it over, line that end up on a line, and then flip that over. So much easier. Right, okay, so things are always better popped up. A lot of people say that, and I'm with them. So let's just add some dimensionals to the back of my card in the middle. Now, the more dimensionals I'll rephrase that. If you're sending this through the post, then more dimensionals is better, so that the post office doesn't squish anything too badly. But if you're hand delivering, then you don't have to go mad with your dimensionals. You can just, use enough. This is probably more of a hand delivered than a through the mail. Right, let's pop that down so that it's square at the top. Now this is all to do with how the eye likes to see things, and it's kind of why Polaroids are the shape they are. Let's just fold my card blank, because if you're going to have a gap, have it at the bottom, because your eye just prefers that. If you do picture framing, it's a similar thing. If you're going to have a bigger mat or card frame within your frame, you put a bigger one at the bottom than you do at the top and the sides. See, you get all sorts of information from me. Right, so, and I'm going to leave that top blank. I'm perfectly happy with that. But I am, if I can remember where I've put them, there they are, I am going to add some glitter dots just at the bottom here. I'm just going to put 3, and these are garden green, 3 along the bottom, just to sort of fill that gap. Then, snail, where are we time-wise? Good grief, 17 minutes. Had a cat in here. Definitely had a cat in here. It's been quite hot these last few days, not in real time. I'm filming this ahead of time. And the cats have been trying to find anywhere that's cool. Apparently my craft room is one of them, although I would beg to differ. So pop that on the inside, and there we go! Our 2 little gifts. Well, our gift and our matching card. I love how bright and jolly that is. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll link to my blog post, which will have close-ups below, and there'll also be the products that I've used. And on my blog post, I will also link the video that I did, or the post I did, on how to make your rectangles smaller, because these, I just used my rectangle dies and then squared them off. It's really easy to do, particularly with the stitched frames, but there is a video that will show you how to do that, and I'll link that on my blog post. If you don't already subscribe, I would be thrilled if you would. There's a button in the bottom right hand corner, and of course if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share some love. If you've got any questions or comments, I love to see comments, and you can put those below. And that's below the description bar. There's an area for comments. I always reply to comments. It may take me a day or 3, but I will always reply to comments. So thank you very much indeed for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!